LeBron James called Steph Curry's wife, Ayesha Curry, a ruthless ass bitch. He said this on a podcast with his wife, Savannah. Let me read you guys this article from TMZ. It says LeBron James is sharing some wisdom he's gained ahead of his 23rd season in the NBA, saying he's heard enough horror stories from his teammates over the years to warn all men, steer clear of cutthroat, ruthless ass bitches. The former Hall of Famer got real on the Everybody's Crazy podcast hosted by his wife Savannah and her friend April, as the group was discussing how quickly relationships fall apart nowadays and who's to blame when they do. That's when Braun chimed in, saying he's heard some crazy tales in the locker room, while revealing he believes there are some women out there who don't have men's best interests at heart. It's some cutthroat, ruthless ass bitches out here right now, James said. Listen, I sit in the locker room and shit now, and there's a lot of women out here that now kind of flip the script, and you know, some homies out here trying to be good too, trying to figure it out, and now they looking in the mirror saying, damn, what did I do wrong? James added, homies, it ain't you. LeBron's a good guy to take love advice from. He's been with his wife Savannah since high school. The couple got married in 2013. They have 3 kids together. Bronny, who's LeBron's teammate, Bryce, now playing college basketball, and their youngest daughter, Zuri, who plays volleyball. Kai Cenat, who was also a guest on the podcast, weighed in too. The ultra-popular streamer encouraged people to leave toxic situations instead of staying out of fear of being alone. That's how you grow, Cenat said. You gotta love yourself. Take note, single ladies and gents. Now, let me speak on this, man. So, it's obvious that LeBron James is about to retire. Like I said, I think this is his last season in the NBA. The fact that he's out here calling women bitches, it just go to show that he don't care anymore, and LeBron is about to show people who he really is. And I respect it, right? Because the way that he used the bitch word, he used it properly, okay? He's obviously talking about Steph Curry, okay? Steph Curry's wife, Ayesha Curry, for the past couple of years, she's been doing interviews telling people how she never wanted to be married, she never wanted to have kids. And my whole thing is why are you saying this publicly? Because your kids are going to see those interviews and they're going to feel offended. And your husband, Steph Curry, is going to feel offended. She's going out of her way to offend people that are in her family, that, you know, she's going out of her way to offend her kids and her current husband. You dig what I'm saying? She also said that she's jealous at the fact that Steph Curry gets attention from women. You know, when she says women, she's basically talking about groupies. You know what I'm saying? And she doesn't like the fact that she doesn't get as much as attention from men like Steph Curry does from women. Now, obviously, Steph Curry, who's an NBA superstar, 4-time NBA champion, the greatest three-point shooter in the history of the NBA. He has the most three-point shots made. Of course, Steph Curry is going to get more attention from women than Ayesha Curry gets from men, obviously. Because Ayesha Curry is only known to be Steph Curry's wife. That's it. You know, she claims that she wanted to, you know, go to college and become basically become a single, you know, black woman that don't need no man. You know what I'm saying? Before Steph Curry, you know, cuffed her and made her a housewife. But Steph Curry has given Ayesha Curry her own cooking show, right? She said that she wanted to, you know, become a cook. So Steph Curry gave her own cooking show that didn't do too well. Nobody cared about it. Nobody watched it. Nobody gave a fuck. Ayesha Curry, if you want to be known for your career, you can still do that, right? Now, obviously you have kids, right? Obviously you have about 3 or 4 kids, right? I think she has 2 daughters and a son, right? But why don't you start a podcast or something like that, right? Start a podcast, or why don't you go into acting, or why don't you start your own business? But instead, you choose to continue to do interviews embarrassing your husband. I seen Ayesha Curry on a talk show, right? Where some dark-skinned dude comes out shirtless, you feel me, oiled up with baby oil. Like, you could tell that this dude was at the Diddy parties, right? And Ayesha Curry was acting like she was about to take her panties off. Like, Ayesha Curry was all blushing and smiling and just moist. And I'm like, God damn, like you really don't like Steph Curry. And this is what LeBron James was talking about. And then shout out to Kai Cenat, bruh. Steph Curry. It's obvious that your wife doesn't value you. She doesn't appreciate you. She doesn't like you. You need to get a divorce, bruh. Make sure you get 50-50 custody of your kids and move on, bruh. Get you a new woman, because guess what, Steph Curry? There's plenty of other women all around the world that will treat you like a king and appreciate you how you should be treated, bruh. Remember, you're the breadwinner. You're the guy, you're the one that has status in the relationship. Okay? Chances are if you divorce your wife, she ain't gonna get nobody better. You know what I'm saying? Because she already got 3 kids from you. You feel me? Obviously, there may be some rapper out there, a nigga like Future, or one of these hood niggas. I wouldn't be surprised if one of these Stephon Diggs ass niggas or Offset, a nigga like that, comes around and starts dating Ayesha. I wouldn't be surprised. But she ain't gonna get nobody that's on your level, bro. You know what I'm saying? Steph Curry is a future Hall of Famer, 4-time NBA champion, greatest shooter in NBA history. She's not gonna get another dude that's on your level, bro. It's just not gonna happen. So I think Steph Curry, you should do yourself a favor, divorce this woman, move on, and get with a woman that deserves you, bro. Because if you don't, your wife, Ayesha Curry, is going to continue to embarrass you and disrespect you. And not just embarrass you. At this point, she's embarrassing and disrespecting your kids, brother. For this woman to say she never wanted kids and she never wanted to be married, why the fuck would you say that in public? Why would you say that publicly? That's something that you keep private. There's no need to say that publicly. And then she goes on to say, anybody that knows me knows I can't keep anything to myself. Like, what? Also, you guys could check this video out on my channel. I made a video about how Ayesha Curry and her homegirls that are single, they went on a girls trip to, I think, Italy, Paris, right? And they all went to a Drake concert and they was hanging out with Drake and Drake's homeboys. Now, who's to say that Ayesha Curry didn't cheat on Steph Curry with Drake or one of Drake's friends? You don't know. You never know. You feel me? Because Drake is known to sleep with other dudes' girls. That's why he was beefing with Future and Rick Ross and all of these niggas, bruh. Because Drake is known to take people's girls and sleep with them, bruh. That's what Drake do. You know what I'm saying? So she's too far gone, bruh. You know what I'm saying? She's too far gone. And I just think that Ayesha Curry at this point, man, she's got Steph Curry looking crazy out here in these streets, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this whole Steph Curry and Ayesha Curry thing, this is Will Smith and Jada Pinkett 2.0. And if Steph Curry don't leave before it's too late, he's going to go out sad just like Will Smith. You know what's going to happen? Steph Curry's going to run into one of these dudes that are making statements about his wife publicly, and Steph Curry is going to smack the shit out of him, and he's going to fuck up his career. That's what's going to happen. I'm telling you. Steph Curry's going to go to one of these award shows. Somebody going to make a joke, a nigga like Chris Rock or somebody like that, Corey Holcomb, they're going to go on stage and make a joke about his wife, and Steph Curry's going to run into him at an award show or in the streets, and Steph Curry's going to crash out and slap the fuck out of him, bro. And it's going to ruin his career and his status and his reputation. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think about this. It's your boy Wavy. Stay Wavy TV. Make sure y'all subscribe, thumbs up the video, leave a comment. I'm out.